cultures. And our cultures, I told you, are three things: beliefs, values, attitudes. Are we together?
Yes.
Beliefs are the things which, for a long time, we have believed to be true, even when there is no evidence. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes. Prosperity comes from work. Hard work. Not just ordinary work. Hard work. Smart work. That's where prosperity lies. It doesn't lie in miracles. No. It's in hard work. Other societies work almost 24 hours. In Uganda, we work for only 2 or 3, isn't it? Of course, I know civil servants, we are told to report at work at 8, isn't it? 8 or 8:30?
8.
8. And then go home at 5. But you observe that religiously. Even when you have the capacity to come earlier and leave later, you don't do it. Because it has been inculcated in you by the law. Start from 8 up to 5.
Sometimes the work compels you to come early and leave late.
Sometimes the work compels to come early, but the offices will not be open.
No.
So you find some other people standing at the gates. Oh yeah, waiting for the other guy to open the door at 8. Integrity is part of life. You don't force it upon yourself, you just leave it. Integrity means you are spotless. There are no things that have darkened you, like dipping hands in the government coffers. We workers can be spotted by the things we do in our offices. Stealing, corruption, indiscipline in offices, like women, arrogance, the men who like abusing the other humankind, isn't it? Especially corruption. Corruption is an integrity issue. It's a moral issue. It's an ethical issue. It's not a poverty issue, but a moral ethical issue. Lack of patriotism. Because if you knew you were working for Uganda, for others, you wouldn't have to take their money for your own good, your own self. Be careful. I usually give this analogy. Because integrity, you can't buy it with money. There are people who spoil themselves and then they think that they will corrupt others and buy back integrity. No. Integrity can't be bought with money. You can only keep it. If you lose it, you will never regain it.
We have had a wonderful revelation this morning. We have learned that there's a lot of our own history that we probably did not know about. We have been updated on what the tribal wars in Uganda were all about, on why certain regions cannot do certain things. Today we learned that the Banyankole preferred herding to planting seeds. We learned why the army was more full of the energetic people from the north. There's basically a lot we have learned, and this is all because of what you taught us this morning. We are going to go away with better information about our own people and our own culture, and we have learned that this is part of what patriotism in Uganda is all about. We thank you very much for the lessons taught so far, and we look forward to another opportunity next time to learn more from you. We're actually wondering if there are some books that you could refer us to. I don't know if there are any, but we'll get that to know that in time. Thank you very much. I wish to ask the audience to join me in thanking you once again.
Asante sana.
We dig it down. Melly. Come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Very good.
You can go back.
Okay. Songa mbele kwa heshima. watu wa 15 kuswing mkono na kudig down look mbele mbele temep 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 yes all together. But you have to swing your arm. If you swing your arm, they will give you balance, okay? Yeah, they'll help you. They will give you balance. You try swinging like this. Swing up, 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 up. Yes, now that's how you're going to match properly. Now let us go back when we are matching like that. You people count for us. Tasonga mbele kwa heshima. Watu wa 15. Swing mkono, kudig down, looking ahead, mbele, temep. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 double hold.
Of course, we had the issues of the COVID. In fact, now what COVID did is it brought down the economy to the level of the population growth, like for like. Because it grew at about 3%, I think, in 2019, and the population growth is about 3%. That's not good. Whenever your population growth rate is growing faster than your economy, it's never a good sign. But we had gotten on, we were growing at about 6-7%, recovering from the shocks that we had of the financial crisis and the droughts and the floods and whatnot. But of course, COVID came in. And what I can say about COVID, these shocks are not going to stop people. This is your chance now to take advantage of where the world is going. If you are not a digital person, if you never wanted to touch a laptop, it's time for you to get to understand how these digital platforms work. You have to include technology as part of your life now.
We thank you as PSST for the continued support to Uganda Railways Corporation. As Uganda Railways Corporation, we are committing, as we've had, to continue serving our country, our nation, through providing a reliable, efficient, and cheap mode of transport, that is the rail transport. Be sure, go rail, save the roads.
Along the way, as people struggle to build URC, there are many others who are pulling us apart and down. The only unfortunate bit, some are within us. Even in politics, I've heard people that I was fighting from within. So it becomes very dangerous when we have individuals who are fighting from within. Because those ones undermine the effort, and it becomes very dangerous if you don't know them. Can you imagine that if you have a fuel pump attendant of URC and you know that we use diesel, but because we also have a pump of petrol for running other people's cars and the generators, instead of fueling the what do you call this, the engine of yours? Instead of fueling the locomotive with the diesel, he puts in half petrol. I don't know what happens to an engine if you do that. Then it goes, by the time it reaches Ginger, it has crashed or seized. We may never get to know who has done it, but that one is delaying, because instead of us going forward, we are now looking for resources to remove this one now that is stuck in the middle of the road, take it away for repair, and if we don't have the spare parts here, we had not even anticipated that, the common good of serving Ugandans with the rail is being undermined by just an individual, not even very strong, but because he lacked that collective concern of ensuring that we achieve, it becomes a problem. So,
Kabamba, Mubende, kuliwaka Kampala, omoto sauti, omoto kuliwaka Kasese, Bulibujo, Kabale, omoto kulichema.
To put the parishes into the money economy. And coming after realizing that we tried the Bonaba Gagawale, we tried the we made the Tab Counter Hour Center, we tried all those others. Yes, they have done, but they have not reached that level. That's not the point of delivering the Uganda we want. So it is coming as one of those components. It has been done out of total research and whatever. It has been done. Reviews, they have been done. And that's why we are calling now, if we want to really achieve our parish model, your participation is very, very important. Universal participation. Let us not leave it and say, now it is those ones who are bringing it and us are out. No. We must get involved. This is the turning point that will make Uganda transform. And we'll be able to negate those problems which we analyzed in our conversation. So analysis has been done, reviews have been done, now the question is the execution. And you have observed very well that the biggest problem is the review. Not review, implementation. That's true. One of our biggest problems has been implementation. But why don't we implement it? Because we have been short of our convergence of ideas. Now here we have the parish model with the set of convergence of ideas and desire under the vision. We have the constitutional principles. We have the values under patriotism. So what can fail us? Nothing should fail us. But however, if we don't talk about these issues, drum the drum loudly over these issues, sound the drum, the patriotic drum loudly, we may lose it. Because the enemy is there marking time. That enemy does not want us to develop. And it's very, very active. But when we are resilient, we are serious, we can fight and engage the enemy and defeat the enemy. And one window of fighting and defeating the enemy is mindset change. Through what? Through patriotic values, which we feel that can be able to support the achievement of our vision. Can create that passion of involvement, passion of participation by all, regardless of race, regardless of profession, then you get what you want. Patriotic training is very, very critical, and to me I think it's the most fundamental, because appreciation of reality, appreciation of life starts from your heart, the soul, the mind, from your thinking system. Then you can appreciate that now I'm here, I'm a human being, I can play this role, I can be able to add value to the society I live in, and also I can help myself to transform. Also, and where do you get that? It comes out of a deliberate program of training where you are exposed to the society, the rules of that govern society, to the fundamentals of society, and be able to appreciate and be able to utilize them and get that value as a driver to your action. This training helps you to create a national character so that your outlook is not to you as an individual but to a nation. So I think these members here, the members coming from the Railways Corporation, with this training, they first of all appreciate their role, and they appreciate that that sector of railways is very important in national development, and then be able to utilize it and nurture it very, very well to add the service that it deserves. You can look at now, let me give an example. The road from Jinja to Kampala, it is government repairs it but breaks in a short while. Why? Because of the load. But now if they appreciate that now they are now building the rail transport, it will be able to supplement on the pressure on the road. And that comes from the members themselves.
1907, Sir Winston Churchill came to Africa to do research. You know, we blame these guys, the whites. But I think our blames are not genuine. They are on top of us in so many things because of one simple thing. They do research. You will find now Americans or Chinese knowing where their people will get food 100 years from now. They have already done the research. They know. For them, they never follow guesswork. No. It is only us. You hear us using some words. What is this you are going to see tomorrow that you don't know today? What if tomorrow does not come? What if tomorrow comes with COVID pandemic? What will you do? They research, get information, put it down, record it, and it guides them in planning for their people and for their future. Are well sought after, analyzed to shape a certain direction. And if any of us lacks that, but he or she happens to be in an office, we don't expect much. We don't expect much. You are in railway. If you are ideologically bankrupt, then we have a dead body there. We have a dead body there in the names of so and so. So ideology, therefore, is very, very, very important. If you get to know, what do you want your country to achieve? Is it you to achieve or the country? What you forget is that nobody will live happily without Uganda. Nobody. So you steal money, instead of developing the country, you develop yourself. Sorry, without Uganda, you are not there. You can never enjoy any money you have stolen. You can only do so if Uganda is stable, if Uganda has developed, and if Ugandans are happy.
Patriotism can be understood as devotion and vigorous support for one's country. And I think that one we are achieving. Yes? We are all going to live here more patriotic than when we walked through the gates. It also calls for love of one's country. Do you love your country? Do you love Uganda? Do you really feel proud to be a Ugandan? That is something which sometimes I find interesting when you hear people making comments and talking about this country. Then you ask yourself, does this person know that he has only one country you can call home? Only one country. Only country you call home is Uganda. And if you don't love your country, then what will you love? That is something which we need as Ugandans to change. When you go out there, this one I'll talk more about the media, and you bash the country, and you talk negatively, even politicians who go out and talk negatively about their country, what are they aiming at? Even the persons you are talking to laugh at you. They may not laugh on face, but internally, they will laugh at you. Wherever you go, may have seen people who have been in the States for 30 years, 20 years, many years. When they die, they bring them back where? This is your country. So one thing we must all look at is loving our country. Have a feel, have a pride, be proud to belong. Be proud to be a Ugandan. Are you willing to sacrifice your time for the good of this country? I'm not saying this because I'm a soldier, but sometimes you need to look at those soldiers, especially when they are going for battle. And you look at this man, he has left his wife and his children, and he's going to stay in the jungle for the years, and he doesn't know when. As a commander, sometimes it was very, very challenging. You'd be briefing soldiers like I'm briefing you now when we are going to battle. And some are smiling at you. And you down deep in your heart, you know that that soldier may not be smiling the next 30 minutes. But for the love of his country, he goes home to battle.
We want to appreciate His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces. We also appreciate you, the Honorable Minister, for the support you have always given to URC and for the lessons we have drawn from your presentation right now. We also want to appreciate the Secretariat led by Brigadier General Patriotism, because as URC we had found it hard to organize this, but with the intervention of the Secretariat we are here because we have now partnered with the Secretariat to ensure this activity happens.
Asante sana.
General, you know very well the mission of our Secretariat is to inculcate values and norms of patriotism among young people, especially those ones in schools. But when such institutions approach us, sometimes we put a special consideration. And with Uganda Railways Corporation, from today onwards, I think we've become partners. We shall continue working together to ensure that we change the mindsets of your staff members. This training had a theme which was all about transforming our mindsets, and I know the objectives of the training have been achieved. It has been a short one. 5 days are not enough, but they have mastered the concepts. It has had an impact on them to the extent that almost all the core values we have been preaching to them, they have now internalized them.
With those, I want to officially close the course. The course is officially closed.
Asante sana.